Hi, I'm Stephen Holder here along with Rick Stroud at One Buck Place. Bucs getting ready for a matchup at the Washington Redskins this week with their playoff hopes still alive a little bit. They got to win out maybe, or at least get the majority of these final 4 games. One of the things they're going to have to adjust to this week is the loss of Aqib Talib, their star cornerback. According to Coach Raheem Morris, having a Pro Bowl season. Well, he's done. He's got a hip injury that's going to sideline him for the rest of the season. Rick, what now? This is a very, very young secondary beyond Rondé Barber. Where do they go from here?
Well, I mean, I think the first place they go is to E.J. Biggers, who came in for Aqib the other night. And you could argue that even though he made one bad play, that play may have cost him the game. The 3rd and 20, he didn't get a deep enough drop in a cover 2, and you saw them exploit it with a deep out there. And I just think that, you know, between E.J. Biggers and Myron Lewis, who now becomes the nickelback, you got some real inexperience. And so obviously a quarterback like Donovan McNabb this week, you know, in later weeks you're going to have Drew Brees and Matt Hasselbeck. They're going to try to go after those guys. And Ronnie Barber's still here. Sean Jones is still here. Still have Corey Lynch, who's really just starting his 2nd game. So it's a very inexperienced secondary. And one thing they can't do, they can no longer just assign a guy to the number 1 wide receiver, which is what Aqib Talib did. A lot of what they did on defense really centered around him. He was kind of a luxury guy, one of the few in the league that could just take out the number 1 receiver. So I think they'll play a little more zone, mix it up, a little more cover 2, cover 3, those kinds of things. But it's certainly going to be a big challenge and something that they're going to have to look for the rest of the way. And one of the changes that we might see this week on offense is they have talked about maybe not using LeGarrette Blount in those short yardage situations, even though he's a 250-pound running back. What is the problem that LeGarrette Blount has on 3rd down that he doesn't seem to have on the other down?
Well, it's an ironic thing. He is 250 pounds. He's massive. He breaks tackles. He's difficult to tackle, yet his biggest problems have come in 3rd and 1, 4th and 1 inches, you know, type of situations. The reason is there are a couple of things, actually. Number one, he's still adjusting to this offense. He comes from an University of Oregon offense that's wide open, spread offense. Everything's lateral. There's not really any power game whatsoever in that offense, even though he is a powerful player. So he's still adjusting to that role. And then I think, secondly, as Raheem Morris said, he is a very patient runner. That's a very good quality. You want your guy to let holes develop. You want him to sort of, you know, let the blocking scheme work. The problem is you can't do that in short yardage. You've got to take the ball and go and just get something and go forward. And his problem has been he's been a little bit too tentative, kind of waiting for that perfect hole to develop. There's not going to be a perfect hole on 3rd and 1. LeGarrette told me today, he says one of the things that has helped him, or one of the things that has kind of happened here is that, you know, on 1st and 10, they don't know what you're going to do. They don't know if it's a run. They don't know if it's a pass. It's obviously on 3rd and 1 or 4th and 1, they know what's coming and they're expecting it, and that hole may not be there. So it's a demeanor and it's an approach that really needs to change from him. And they think that he still can make this change, but as Raheem Morris told us today, in the meantime, they've got to get first downs, and they may incorporate some other guys in there. So I think Ernest Graham is an option. Cadillac, to a lesser extent, is an option. I think Ernest Graham is probably where they go there in those very short yardage situations. So stay tuned to TampaBay.com, and we will fill you in for more, or with more, as the Bucs get ready to take on the Washington Redskins.